Hello children, welcome back to your online biology class. I'm Asha Santosh, your biology teacher. How are you all? Hope you all are fine and safe at home. Children, we were discussing about food, isn't it? We have completed first two chapters. Our first chapter was food, where does it come from? In that chapter, we have discussed about the sources of food. Then, yes, different types of animals according to their food habit. Very good. In our second chapter, we have discussed about components of food. The food items which we eat contains 5 different types of nutrients. Which are they? Yes, carbohydrates, protein, fat, vitamins and minerals. Now you all know about a balanced diet and deficiency diseases also. Hope you all are thorough with these two lessons. Children, as we all know, plants are the main source of our food because plants can produce their own food by the process of photosynthesis. So all the animals need to depend plants for their food. Do you want to know more about plants? Yes. Today we are going to discuss about plants. You can see wide variety of plants around you, isn't it? Different types of plants. Let's discuss more about plants today. That is our 7th chapter, Getting to Know Plants. Children, when you look around you, you can see different varieties of plants, isn't it? Some plants will be very smaller than you. Some will be about your size. Some will be more than your size, isn't it? Some plants having very small flowers, some having very big flowers, then some other plants having red leaves or other color leaves. So different varieties of plants you can see around you. First of all, let us categorize them into different groups according to their characteristics. We can divide the plants mainly into 3 groups. They are herbs, shrubs and trees. These are the main 3 groups of plants. Let me repeat. Herbs, shrubs and trees. So children, herbs are very small plants with soft and tender stems. The stems will be green in color and it will be very soft. Many of the herbs does not having branches. The examples are tomato, paddy, wheat, cabbage, mustard, etc. Then, in the case of shrubs, the stems will be thick but not that much hard. The shrubs are bigger than the herbs. The branches will arise from the base. Okay. Then what about trees? Yes. Trees are very big plants. It has very thick and hard stem. Can you tell some examples for trees? Yes. Mango tree, coconut tree, apple tree, etc. What about shrubs? Can you tell some examples for shrubs? Yes. Rose plant, tulsi plant, etc. Plants with green and tender stems are called herbs. They are usually short and may not have many branches. Some examples are cabbage, paddy, wheat, tomato plant, etc. Some plants have the stem branching out near the base. The stem is hard but not very thick. Such plants are called shrubs. Rose plant, tulsi plant, hibiscus plant are some examples. Some plants are very tall and have hard and thick brown stem. The stems have branches in the upper part, much above the ground. Such plants are called trees. Mango tree, coconut tree, jackfruit tree, apple tree, etc. are some examples. Children, along with these three groups, two more groups of plants are available. They are creepers and climbers. When you hear the name, you can identify the specialty of such plants, isn't it? What is meant by creeping? What is meant by climbing? Yes, the creepers are the plants which creep through the ground. And the climbers are the plant which climb through any support. Okay, so let's discuss about these plants also. Plants with weak stems that cannot stand upright and spread on the ground are called creepers, while those that take support on neighboring structures and climb up are called climbers. Watermelon, pumpkin are some examples for creepers. Pea, passion fruit, grapevine are some examples for climbers. Children, creepers normally produce heavy fruits. That's why it cannot climb through the support. Children, hope you all understood about different types of plants, isn't it? Which are they? Yes, herbs, shrubs, trees, creepers and climbers. Very good. Next, let's discuss about parts of the plant. You already know which are the different parts of the plant, isn't it? Let's memorize. The plants has different parts. They are root, stem, leaves, flowers, fruits, branches, etc. Each part has its own function, isn't it? What is the function of root? Yes, roots hold the plant firmly in the soil, and also it will absorb minerals, water for the plant from the ground, from the soil. Stem bears leaves, flowers, branches, fruits, buds, etc. Mainly stem has two functions. Stem transfer water and minerals from the root to the leaf and distribute the cooked food to the different parts of the body. Let's do the activity.
To show that the stem transports water to all parts of the plant. We will take some water in a glass tumbler and put 5 to 6 drops of red ink in it. As you see, ink gets evenly diffused in water. Now we dip a branch of balsam plant in colored water. We will leave this arrangement undisturbed for few hours. After 7 to 8 hours, can you see streaks of red color in the leaves? This shows that water has been transported to leaves by the stem.
Leaf cook food for the plant. Cooked food reach to all parts of the plant through stem. So stem having two functions. Which are they? Transport water and minerals from the root to the leaf. At the same time, distribute the cooked food from the leaf to all parts of the plant. Leaf is known as kitchen of the plant. Who is cooking food in your home? Yes, your mother. So just like that, leaves cook food in plants. Okay. Children, this is a branch of mango tree. So you can see so many leaves over here, isn't it? All the leaves are attached with the stem. So this part is known as petiole. Okay, petiole. You can see this line will reach up to the end of the leaf. So the middle line of the leaf is known as midrib. What it is known as? Midrib. So from the midrib, you can see so many branches. I'm going to pluck this leaf. So you can see so many branches from this midrib. So these all are the veins of the leaves. We also having veins in our body, isn't it? Just like leaves also having veins. What about this flat area? Yes, this flat area is known as lamina, leaf lamina. So these are the different parts of the leaf. Petiole, which help the leaf to attach with the branch. Then midrib, the middle line. Then veins, the branches. And leaf lamina. The part of the leaf by which it is attached to the stem is called petiole. The broad green part of the leaf is called lamina. The arrangement of vein in the leaf is known as venation. What it is known as? Venation. The arrangement of veins in the leaf is known as venation. So, two types of venation are there. Children, here I have two types of leaves. This is the leaf of coconut tree and this is the leaf of mango tree. You can see the difference in the venation of these two leaves. In the leaf of a coconut tree, you can see the veins are arranged just parallel to one another. Leaves of bamboo, grass, coconut tree, banana tree are some examples. So this type of venation is known as parallel venation. This type of venation is known as parallel venation. In the case of mango tree, you can see a net-like arrangement of veins. Net-like. Here branches and net-like venation. Okay, so this type of venation is known as reticulate venation. So what are the two different types of venation? Yes, parallel venation and reticulate venation. Children, today we have discussed about different types of plants. Which are the different types of plants? Yes, herbs, shrubs, trees, creepers and climbers. And also about stem and leaves, their function. And two types of venation in leaves. Isn't it? So study well. Read the textbook. We'll see you in our next class after vacation. Wish you a happy and safe Onam. Goodbye.